The blocks are set, the crowd is locked in, and 8 of Europe's fastest women are about to decide who moves on. Lane 4, Lieke Klaver, the Dutch champion who's been turning heads all season. Lane 8, Jaël Bestué of Spain, hungry and dangerous. France, Germany, Sweden, Great Britain. Every nation with something to prove. Every athlete carrying the weight of qualification. This is not a final, but one false step and your championship is done. You can see it in every face, every breath, every coiled muscle waiting for the gun. Who rises? Who breaks? Jaël Bestué, Spain, lane 8. Julia Henriksson of Sweden in lane 7, a powerful curve runner who's been making noise on the European circuit all season long. Lorène Dorcas Bazolo of Portugal in lane 6, a veteran with international finals experience, bringing composure and real speed to this field. Sofia Junk of Germany in lane 5, the raw acceleration to challenge anyone in this heat from the first step off the blocks. Lieke Klaver of the Netherlands in lane 4, the reigning European indoor 400-meter champion, one of the most complete sprinters in this field. Hélène Parisot of France in lane 3, European medalist and French national silver medalist with serious credentials. Rebecca Bennett of Great Britain in lane 2, a sharp competitor who knows how to perform on the biggest stages. Terezi Taborska of Czech Republic in lane 1, representing her country at the top level of European track and field. The stadium goes quiet. That specific quiet that only comes before a sprint. 8 athletes pouring everything into the next 22 seconds. You can feel the weight of it from the stands. The curve out of lane 8 is a test of nerve. Bestué will need a clean exit to make her speed count on the straight. Klaver and Parisot won't give her an inch. The crowd's holding its breath. Blocks are set. Bodies are coiled. Every one of these women has worked years to stand in this exact spot. The gun is coming. They're off. Bestué fires out of lane 8 with explosive drive. Junk and Parisot quick off the blocks as the field charges hard into the curve. Off the bend, it's Bestué, and she is flying. Clear gap, ferocious stride. Parisot pushing in lane 3, Junk right there with her. Bestué won't let up through the straight. Bestué wins it. Jaël Bestué crosses the line in 22.19, a championship record. Spain erupts. Parisot takes second, Junk grabs third. What a run from the Spaniard. Jaël Bestué throws her arms wide and looks to the sky. She knows exactly what she just did. Scoreboard confirms it. 22.19, a brand new championship record. This crowd is going absolutely wild. Look at Bestué. She's sprinting down the straight again, arms up, soaking in every second of this. The Spanish fans are on their feet, flags out, voices at full volume. A championship record in a heat. Think about that. She didn't just qualify today. She announced herself to the entire continent in the loudest way possible. That number keeps flashing on the scoreboard, 22.19. Bestué's still moving, still riding it, and this crowd will not stop. This stadium is completely alive right now. She grabs a Spanish flag, wraps it around her shoulders, holds it high. Everyone in this building knows what they just saw. Jaël Bestué, championship record holder. That title belongs to Spain tonight. Watch this in slow motion. Bestué's reaction off the gun is razor sharp. Her drive phase out of lane 8 is textbook. Look at the knee lift, the arm action from that very first stride. Into the curve, she leans cleanly, holding momentum with real efficiency. At 100 meters, she's already separating. Watch her hit the straight. Stride lengthens, top speed takes over. Parisot and Junk give everything, but Bestué's mechanics are on a different level entirely. 22.19, championship record. Results are locked in. Bestué at 22.19, Parisot 22.42 for second, Sofia Junk 22.53 for third. Klaver qualifies as well. All 4 of them move through. Heat. Delivered exactly what you'd want from a championship heat. Bestué's surrounded now. Teammates, staff, everyone wants a piece of this moment. She came into this heat to qualify and she left with a championship record. That's a statement. Every finalist in this event just watched that scoreboard. A 22.19 in a heat is not something you ignore. The final just got a whole lot more interesting. What a performance in Heat A of the women's 200 meters. Jaël Bestué of Spain, 22.19, a championship record, the fastest this track has seen at this competition. Hélène Parisot advances for France, Sofia Junk for Germany, Lieke Klaver moves through for the Netherlands. The semifinal field is set, and one name is already at the top of it, Jaël Bestué, 22.19. Bestué had this race won before she hit the straight. That's the thing people will miss if they only look at the finishing time. Coming off the curve, somewhere around the 130 to 140 meter mark, she had already opened a gap that nobody in this field was going to close. That's where championships are decided in the 200, not at the line. On the bend exit, from lane 8 you're running blind for most of the curve. You can't see your competitors. You have to run your own race, trust your mechanics, and size, and hope the gap you've built is real. Bestué didn't just hope. She drove through that curve with her knee lift high and her arms pumping with real aggression, and when she straightened up she was already clear. Parisot, running lane 3, had the inside look on everyone. She ran 22.42. In most heats at this level, that gets you first place comfortably. It got her second. 22.19 is a championship record. Let that settle for a moment. A heat, not a final, not a semi. Bestué ran a championship record in a preliminary round, which tells you she wasn't managing the race. She wasn't conserving. She ran through the line like the scoreboard didn't exist. That's either supreme confidence or supreme fitness. Given what the clock said, probably both. The technical execution was close to ideal for the distance. The 200 punishes two things, a slow curve and a tight finish. Bestué's curve was aggressive without being reckless, and her final 20 meters showed no visible deceleration. Her stride held its length. Her posture stayed upright. At 22.19, there's no room for a technical error anywhere in that race, and she didn't give one. Parisot ran a genuinely strong heat and still finished almost a quarter of a second back. That's not a consolation. 22.42 is a serious time, and France will take it. She runs with efficiency through the backstretch, doesn't waste energy, and she qualified comfortably. The concern for Parisot going forward is whether she has the top-end gear to match Bestué if this final comes down to the straight. Today's race suggests she doesn't, at least not right now. Sofia Junk was quick off the blocks. The German was one of the faster starters in the field, and through the first 60 meters, she was very much in the picture. She clocked 22.53 for third, which is a solid qualifying time. But the gap to Bestué over the final 80 meters was significant. Junk's 200 is a work in progress at this level. The speed is there. The endurance of that speed across the full distance is the question. Lieke Klaver is worth watching carefully here. She ran 22.59 in fourth, which is fine, but Klaver's primary event is the 400. The European indoor 400-meter champion running 22.59 in a 200 heat is not a surprise. It might not even represent her ceiling in this event. She's capable of more if she commits to the shorter distance and if her form over the curve sharpens. She qualified, and in the next round she'll be someone to track. Lorène Dorcas Bazolo at 22.61 in fifth is a respectable performance for Portugal, and she advanced. Julia Henriksen's 22.74 and Rebecca Bennett's 22.87 both qualified their athletes, though neither time will trouble the scoreboard in the later rounds if the field runs to its potential. Terezi Taborska ran 23.37 from lane 1. That's a difficult lane. You're on the tightest part of the track, and you're isolated from the rest of the field visually. It's not an excuse. The gap to the rest of the field was real, but lane 1 in a 200 is genuinely harder to run well, and that's worth acknowledging. Context matters with this record. A championship record at a European championship doesn't always reflect the absolute peak of the event globally, but 22.19 is not a soft number. It sits inside the conversation of the faster 200-meter times run by European athletes. For Spanish sprinting, it's a milestone. Spain has not historically been a factory for world-class 200-meter runners at the women's level. Bestué is changing that picture. The trajectory here is steep. A championship record in a heat at a major European competition signals an athlete who is peaking at the right moment and running without fear. The question every analyst will be asking now is not whether she can win the final. It's whether she runs faster. Athletes who set records in heats sometimes tighten up in finals when the pressure changes. Others use the confidence of a fast early run as fuel. Bestué's body language after the finish, the arms wide, the look upward, none of it suggested an athlete who was nervous about what she'd just done. It suggested someone exactly where they expected to be. If she runs with the same mechanical execution in the semifinal and carries that through to the final, this is a genuine gold medal contender. 22.19 in the morning. The rest of the field has seen the number. Now they have to answer it.